Well, it certainly doesn't speak well, does it, to accusations that big tech is biased against conservatives. Here with more reaction is Scott Martin, CIO of Kingsview Asset Management. You know, Scott, okay, so we hear back from Google, just a brainstorming, session, never went into effect. But it certainly leaves a very bitter taste when you start thinking about the way that these emails were worded was, it's almost like it's us against them. We've got to make sure, we've got to rush to get this in so that we can combat the policies of the Trump administration. To me, it's very damning.
Yeah, it's damning, and damn them, Ashley. You know, thank you, Google, for doing this great service for the country and trying to tell us how to think, right? I mean, what's interesting, too, though, you know, they're not really good, I guess, at varying searches, because if you Google internal emails, if you Google search that, you find a litany of stories now about how they tried to hide this stuff. So, hey, Google, take a clue and maybe bury those while you're at it. Here's the thing, though, Ashley, too, like you and Hillary talked about. There was very little leadership in this department, right? I mean, yes, I get it. Some underlings, some lower-level employees may be spouting off and blowing off about Trump and the policies and whatnot, fine. But the fact that you had management on here kind of saying, well, should we break protocol and not do this or do this, just goes to show you that they really didn't care and maybe actually even thought about doing it.
Well, and of course, this comes on the heels, and I don't know, Scott, if you've seen the video of Google executives in that period of time just after Donald Trump became president, and they're all sitting around having this kind of session talking, and it's just like a wake. It's like a funeral, and what can we do? And, you know, the country's gone to rack and ruin, and democracy has been thrown out of the window. You see that video, and then you hear about what was going on with regard to this particular search. I mean, it's hard not to think that there's some not biased against conservative thought.
Yeah, it's upsetting, and democracy being thrown out the window when America voted and got the result that they voted for, right? I mean, yeah, democracy must be out the window in that case. And, you know, honestly, Ashley, as a Google shareholder, it's disappointing, both for myself and my clients. Facebook's another one, you know, all the news feed jiggering that they've done over the years. I mean, that stuff, you know, obviously was kind of tailored to certain ways. Twitter, Jack Dorsey has talked about how this was not a great, place for conservative thought.
Right.
We own Facebook, by the way, still. I mean, gosh, Ashley, you know, Silicon Valley has really shown their stripes here in the last couple of years.
Right.
And it's not promising with respect to how they feel about D.C., that's for sure.
No, it certainly doesn't. All right. As always, Scott, great stuff. You can talk about any subject with a lot of skill. Much appreciated. Scott Martin.
I'll try. See you, man.
In Chicago. Scott, thank you. And we'll be right back.